All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the STEM Files. Tonight's episode is dedicated to the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March. Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. We're going to be going into how to understand coronavirus by the numbers. We're not necessarily going to be talking about coronavirus as a virus itself from a medical or biological standpoint. We're going to be teaching you how to understand the coronavirus pandemic in terms of the statistics, the demographics, and things of that nature. So stay tuned for more after this. All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning into the STEM Files. We are culture. I am one of your hosts, Tariq Cardiac, aka Tariq Muhammad, aka Tariq Cardiac. I am a biomedical research scientist with a concentration in cardiovascular pathobiology, which is the study of how diseases form in the heart and in the blood vessels. Joined by my co-host or right hand man, best friend, Jabril.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and blessings, family. Jabril Muhammad, aka Jabrilliant Engineer. I am a mechanical engineer focusing on naval ship fluid systems with a background in material science and engineering, understanding different material classes, how they work, and how they relate their structures to the different properties.
Excellent, excellent. So in today's show, well, before we get into that, we are also broadcasting live on National Network View, which is unfortunately our enemy has took down their YouTube page, but they are still live on Facebook, a National Network View. You can find us, the STEM Files, at the STEM Files on Facebook, YouTube, and at the STEM Files on Instagram. Tariq Cardiac, your brain engineer, every Thursday and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so tonight's guest is someone that has been very influential in not only my educational journey and academic journey, but also Jabril's. We have special guest, Dr. Shahid Muhammad, aka the Math Doctor. Welcome to the platform again, sir. How are you?
Peace, welcome. And thank you so much for having me on, for the invitation. It's a blessing to see you two, just so powerful in terms of your science and engineering, technology, and all the pursuits that you all are doing. Just so proud of both of you, coming from a family that I know both of your families. So it's just a blessing to see you two young men in the STEM fields, kicking butt and laying down the foundation for our nation. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
So a lot. Appreciate you as well, beloved. All right, Jabril, can you go into more about our guest tonight?
Yes, sir, of course. So we have brother Dr. Shahid Muhammad, currently a full-time high school math instructor at Muhammad University of Islam. He also is an adjunct professor of mathematics from Malcolm X College and Kennedy King College. He graduated from Lincoln University with a master's degree in mathematics. Muhammad received his Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics education from Penn State University. He is the author of the book, How to Teach Math to Black Students, and a series of instructional math DVDs that are sold around the country. Muhammad conducts workshops and seminars on the topic of improving the mathematics literacy of inner city youth. And with that, let's get to it.
All right. So, as we mentioned before, this is just a little disclaimer. Tonight's episode is not about the medical or biological standpoint of the coronavirus. This episode is to help the general population understand how the coronavirus is being measured in the population in terms of if confirmed cases in the United States or in your own home state, and just to understand the demographics and all the statistics behind the information given on the coronavirus. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the show. Dr. Shahid, before we get into it, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in mathematics, how you got into where you are today?
Yes, sir. I want to thank you both for the honorary degree, but I don't have my doctorate yet, so I'm just a master's in mathematics, but just a math doctor. And the math doctor is just a service title, serving our people in the area of mathematics. So It's interesting because I first wanted to be an astronaut when I was in school. And then I went into college, took a physics class, and it punked me out because I didn't do too well, was totally lost. So that kind of diverted me. So it got me into secondary ed math. But I really think God was guiding me the whole way based upon the response that I get from my students. I was blessed in 1989. I put in an application for Muhammad University of Islam with the thought that no way in the world they were going to hire me. I just didn't think I was of the caliber that they were going to be looking for. And I was on my way to Columbus, Ohio at this high school that accepted me and offered me a job. And then I got a call from Sister Shelby Muhammad, who was the director at that time. And she said, the minister said to hire you over the phone. So I was on my way to Chi-Town from Philadelphia. I'm originally from Philadelphia. Yes, sir. So once I got to Chicago and started teaching, I was a very young teacher. I was about 21. So some of the students were older looking than me, but they really, thank God, began to get motivated, inspired, fired up. They would always talk about my class, run to my class, saying that you're the best teacher. I won Best Teacher Awards many years. And so I wanted to duplicate that all across the country in other classrooms, because I believe our people, being that we're at the bottom of mathematics, if we just knew, one, how important mathematics is, two, that we were the creators and are the creators and originators of math. And if we had the right teachers, then they would be inspired, motivated, and we would go back to our original state where we were the originators of mathematics and the supreme in mathematics. So I wrote the book, How to Teach Math to Black Students. And that was a attempt to get teachers and educators to read the book and look at some of the methods and strategies that I use in my classroom to get students motivated to learn math. Even though the title was How to Teach Math to Black Students, the principles, the methods, the strategies are for any student on the planet Earth. Any student, whether they're children or adults, their methods will work because everyone has the same, people respond to a certain level of education, a certain level of teaching when the teacher cares. So once that book went out, I got rave reviews, but a lot of people wanted to learn the math. So they thought that they were going to read the book and learn math. So I said, no, it's really for the educators and for the parents. So then I came out, God gave me gave me the thought to make videos at that time of me teaching math and then spread those videos out. So if I can't be in their classroom in different cities and around the world, I can at least come through them via technology. So the videos, of course, they were low budget. So I know some of you out there might be parents or children that say, I was raised on these videos. Yeah, I know those videos were early in the technology world. So I was kind of like Spike Lee in his beginning stages. All right. So then after a while, when the technology changed, I changed them over to DVD. They were a little more polished, a little more professional looking. And man, all over the country, I get people running up to me, telling me, man, I was raised on your videos. I raised my children on their videos. They went to college because of your videos. They were able to make it through math because of you. So that, man, I mean, money is great. I would love to have it. But just the feeling and the reaction of students, children running up to me, talking about, you the math doctor. All that was just, man, it's just priceless. So I just thank God over and over and over. I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Mr. Farrakhan for giving me the thought to do something for our people in the area of education. So that's what brought me into the realm of mathematics. I wanted to teach on the college level as well. So that's what inspired me to go back and get my master's degree in mathematics so I can teach at the college level as well.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, the timing is perfect because your little brother has just got another small contract doing tutoring for 7th grade mathematics starting next Monday. So you know your brother's going to be in your ear a little bit, you know what I'm saying? My student and everything over Zoom and whatnot, making sure that I'm doing everything right and exact. You know, so
you all are doing it.
And I'm about to start tutoring next week.
Perfect time. You all are perfect examples of it. So you all doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
So as we're getting into the coronavirus, right? Kind of before we do that, and I'm gonna turn it over to Tariq for those questions. But we're taught Nation of Islam, right? And then people hear it, it's kind of a household phrase at this point. But Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. Mm-hmm. Being a Muslim follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and an actual mathematician teaching mathematics, how have you come to internalize that phrase, and how has it come to bear fruit in your life?
Yes, sir. Well, there's a part of that lesson that says, after learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, then you must learn to use it. And of course, it also says it can be proven in no limit of time. So Islam, it being mathematics, means that Islam can be, one, proven in no limit of time, that it is the one, not religion, but the way of life that God prescribed. So mathematically, we can prove that. We can show that Allah is God, that Allah is one by mathematics. So I've come to realize that it means that mathematics is the foundation for everything, just as Islam is the foundation for everything, because everything Allah created, God created to obey him and submit to him. And everything that submits to him, there's harmony, there's peace, there's symmetry, there's beautiful mathematics. Everything that we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad can be proven in no limit of time. And mathematics is the science that no one can argue with when you bring that as the basis of your proof. So mathematics is the foundation of Islam, the foundation of the teachings. And just as you can prove mathematics in no limit of time, we can prove Islam in no limit of time. Any religion that doesn't have its foundation in mathematics, you have to question that way of life, because God is the supreme mathematician. So he would not give us any other way of life that's not based in mathematics. Cause, effect, functionality, you do this result comes from there. And if you understand the functionality and the concept of a function, what you input is what you get out. And that's the way Islam is. If we are in a harmony with God, we get peace. If we rebel, we get hell. It's all mathematically sound. So Islam is mathematics because Islam is the way of life of God, and mathematics is the mind of God. So he has emotion, but everything he does is in a mathematical manner. So his mind created the universe. So in that mind is mathematics at the base and core. That's just a little poquito understanding of it.
Yes, sir. Praise you too.
Got it, bro. But yes, sir. So tonight's the topic of the show, as mentioned earlier on in the beginning of as soon as we went live, we talked about on demographic statistics and understanding the coronavirus by numbers. So before we get deep into that, please explain why it is important for the general public to understand mathematics and anything dealing with graphs or any information given to us in terms of percentages or, anything along those lines. Why is it important to understand mathematics so that the coronavirus is easy for them to understand, or any aspect of it for that matter?
Well, man, we could speak for hours on that. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that people who do not know mathematics will always be subject to a people that know mathematics. So it's not a coincidence that Black people, Hispanic people, American, our indigenous family, I won't say American, our indigenous family, we're at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of power, economics, every doggone realm, health, education. It is because we are not mathematically sound and we're not mathematically literate. And it just so happens that Black people are at the bottom in terms of math competency and literacy. See, when you don't know mathematics, then you don't know how to solve problems. You don't know how to reason. You don't know how to think critically. You can't map a plan of action to get out of your predicament. You can't map a plan of action to get out of your current state. So the enemy on purpose dumbs down the masses in terms of mathematics. We have people walking around saying, my mom wasn't good at math, my pop wasn't good at math. I'm just not born not to be good at math. That's for them genius type of Einstein type of people. No, that's ludicrous and crazy. Right. Everyone has the potential to master mathematics if they take the discipline if they take the time and if they are persistent in striving to master it. But when you don't know graphs, you can't interpret statistics, then you don't have the ability to analyze anything. You don't have the ability to problem solve. You don't have the ability to analyze something to find out what's the cause and what's the effect. And our people, we are run over by the enemy, by Satan, because we act emotionally and not mathematically. And so we operate off of feeling, not mathematics. If it feel good, if it tastes good, if it look good, I'm with it. But we don't analyze what is the end result of what we are doing. What is the end result of what we are inputting into our lives? What is the output? So when we think mathematically and when we know mathematics, then we are always looking at cause effect. We're always analyzing our current state. You can take health as an example. All right. Since we're talking about the coronavirus, our people, unfortunately, we're at the bottom of health proficiency in terms of good health. We're at the top of everything bad in terms of cancer, in terms of heart disease, because we're doing things to our body, our temple, that are not mathematical. We're functioning off of feeling, function off of taste, function off of does it look good? So I'll eat a bag of chips. I'll eat a pig. I'll drink a bunch of soda, but I'm not analyzing a graph of what's happening to my blood, what's happening to my sugar level, what's happening to my cholesterol level when I eat these foods. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came out mathematically with a book, How to Eat to Live. And if you want life, you follow his program. If you want death, you follow Satan's program of eating. Everything is mathematics. That's why, my brother, you have to master mathematics. You have to learn mathematics because we are mathematics ourselves. From head to toe, our bodies are perfectly run mathematical machines. We get into problems when the mathematics with our body is not right. We're not feeding our bodies the right food, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And that has a ramification, a consequence down the road. That's why one of the most powerful concepts in math is a function. Input produces an output, you see? And everything that we are in terms of health, in terms of our mind, we can put on a graph, we can put on a chart, we can put in a table. And if we know mathematics, then we can analyze, hey, here's my problem. This is what I need to do to solve the problem. But the enemy purposely keeps the 85% dumb, blind, and deaf, and in particular in terms of mathematics. Because as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if you don't know math, you will stay subject, you will stay a mental slave to anybody that knows mathematics. And the enemy is using mathematics with the virus, those in power that craft these things, vaccines and all this kind of stuff to keep the people dead, to put the people to sleep, and also to kill the people in masses. They're using mathematics, wicked mathematics, but they're using mathematics. So if we don't know basic mathematics, we won't be able to compete and deal and protect ourselves from this wicked demons that are using mathematics to kill masses and keep the people dumb, deaf, and blind.
Man, you know, I spent the last, I would say 2 or 3 days trying to understand, well, not trying to understand because I know why, but, you know, there's this thing going on right now with Ice Cube and them, you know, misunderstanding what he's trying to do with the plight of Black people right now, you know. So, well, let's save that for a little later. But let's get into the topic. So the topic is coronavirus by the numbers. So I'm going to put up a graph right now, and I want you to kind of just help the public understand exactly what they're looking at. Okay?
Yes, I'll do the best I can now.
All right. So this one is pretty much just some basic information on, you know, the coronavirus as of October 16th in the United States. So can you kind of tell us what kind of graph this is, what each number represents, and why it's so important for us as a community to understand this information?
Yes, sir. So when they bring us statistics, I always say to my students, mi estudiantes, that statistics are numbers that talk. The statistics tell a story. So when you look at these numbers, when you look at this line graph, all right, it's telling a story. And that story is affecting each and every one of us. But as you said, my brother, if we don't understand, we don't appreciate analyzing graphs, we could care less about statistics and numbers and math, then we will be victims of what this graph is stating and telling us in the story that is relating. So on the x-axis, which is your horizontal axis, you have the months, I believe from a little before April, and then it comes all the way up to the modern date of October 16th. So it's giving you the dates on the x-axis, and then your y-axis, I believe, are the new cases in the United States in numbers. So you can see that in April and in March and April, when a lot of the quarantine started, a lot of the cases started booming, growing exponentially. Hospitals are overwhelmed. See, that's one reason you have to know the mathematics, because if you know the numbers, you can predict what you need in terms of disinfectant, in terms of mask, in terms of gloves. But they did not use the mathematics because they downplayed the power and magnitude of the virus and its effect, because it was started out in China. So they were like, ain't nobody worried about that. But if they were following the numbers, China's numbers, other countries' numbers, and they would have been better prepared with these numbers to look at the graph and say what's happening, what is the prediction for the future. So graphs help us predict the future and they help us prepare for the future. But many people, as you said, 85% of the planet don't even care about mathematics and are not looking at the statistics. So you have new cases on the left, your y-axis, and then you have the months. So we can see that it kind of went down a little bit in June, and now it's on the rise. It took a little peak in July, went down a little bit. And so we're seeing a constant stream of up, down, maxes and minimums. So we seem to be on a rise, and all the numbers that they're reporting show that in most major cities, the numbers are going up. New cases and also the number of deaths. So if the people in charge of health, if the people in charge of our stability were wise and are watching the graphs, then they can make a prediction that, hey, maybe we need to get more hospital beds ready. Maybe we need to get more gloves ready. Maybe we need to get more masks, ventilators. All that can happen if we read the numbers, if we study the mathematics and the statistics. Then a wise person can predict for the future and make plans so that we don't end up the same way we were in March and April, where hospitals didn't have what they needed. Primary care people were on TV, in the news, saying, "Look, we're overwhelmed. We can't handle this." That's because the people that were in charge of preparing them were not looking at the mathematics or the numbers. So that's a beautiful topic that you have, coronavirus by the numbers, because numbers speak to us. They tell us something. Mathematics tells a story, and either we read it and then can prepare, or we ignore it and then suffer the consequences.
Right.
That's right.
As I'm looking at that and I'm seeing the months around which there's a spike or an increase in the cases, I'm thinking about around the times when certain major cities were opening up, leaving out of place, and that contributing to your rise in cases. Maybe self-explanatory to some, but just to understand that it was low as we were just kind of like getting abreast of this virus and affecting people. And when shutdown happened, not a lot of people out, so you have like a trough, if you will. Then when you open it up, okay, we need to make this money. And going back to the numbers, I would imagine that America, like other countries, some of the numbers or graphs that they were looking at or most concerned with was the amount of money being lost.
Yeah.
Look at America. America's a service-based economy. We don't really make much, if not anything. So if we're not exchanging services, we're not making money. So whether the small business, the large business, the Amazons of the world, the barbershops of the world, the restaurants, we're engaging in these services. So the shutting down or that shelter in place concept really hurt that aspect of things. So and because we understand how this world works and that everybody sees green, we're more concerned with those numbers than these actual lives that are the actual human capital that we see. So thank you so much for breaking that down.
Definitely, and I'm feeling the title even more as you said that, because by the numbers, All right. And so the coronavirus, by the numbers, as you said, because these people, all they care about are the money numbers, the economic numbers, then that's why you saw the roller coaster. And as you said, once we quarantined and everybody was locked down, the numbers went down. And then they were like, look, man, we got to get this thing reopened because look, I got bank accounts, I got such and such businesses that are being hurt. So the numbers were dealing with money, not the numbers dealing with lives. And the minister was dealing with lives. That's why he said this thing is going to get worse. You better wear a mask. He said you better stay quarantined. All right. Keep the social distancing. This is our instruction from our leader, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because his numbers is to save lives. But the wicked satanic demons that run the planet, all they care about are the numbers of the bottom line, money, money, money. So now by the numbers, people are dying more. Spikes are happening again because reopen to make money, not reopen to take care of people's lives.
That's right. That's right. Now you mentioned and Jabril took the question right out of my head. It's amazing. This happens every show. As soon as I think about it, he says it. So I wanted to go a little bit more into the spikes, just from a mathematical standpoint. I want to break down each reason why the spikes would happen, not just from them wanting to reopen and different things of that nature, but the other aspects, like those of us who are not taking the mask wearing seriously, or those of us who are not taking changing our health and our physical routine seriously, or those overall reasons for why these spikes are happening. Can we break down each one from a mathematical standpoint, starting with the mask wearing situation?
Man, because it relates so beautifully, because you asked earlier why it's important for us to know mathematics. See, in America, emotions rule. And that's why in other countries, they were able to get it in check because mathematics ruled. They looked at the numbers. Look, our people are dying by the masses. We know we're going to take an economic hit, but let's take 30 days. Let's take 60 days, lock this sucker down. Because people are dying, people are losing their lives. So we're not worried about the emotional fact that you're going to miss your barber, you're going to miss your going out to the restaurant, you're going to miss. No, mathematics takes precedence. We are losing lives, but not in America. This is the modern day Rome. This is the modern day Egypt. Everything is party, get my groove on. I don't give a damn about the numbers. I don't give a damn about mathematics. The function thing about what you input and what you output, I don't care about that. You have people in America that all they want to do is get their groove on, continue living their life, getting back to norm. What is norm? Norm is savagery. Norm is emotion running things. You can't get back to norm when you're dealing with a pandemic like this. So mathematically, the spikes are happening here in America because this is modern day hell. And here, Satan rules, emotions rules, flesh rules. So anything that bothers my comfort zone, I'm not going to be dealing with. So now, being that we don't care about other people's lives, so the mask comes off, social distancing stop, bars are full, people partying on fraternities and sororities as soon as they open the colleges up. I mean, college presidents had all these plans laid out to protect the students, but they had no control over off-campus partying. So the people are not thinking mathematically. That is one of the major problems with not just America, but the whole planet, but in particular America, because Americans are so emotional, so caught up in their pleasure zone that they don't give a damn about mathematics. And so now you put other people's lives in jeopardy because you can't control your mind, control your flesh, and get your mathematics on. You got flesh ruling you and emotion ruling you. So that's one reason for the spikes in America, whereas in other countries, they were able to lock it down because they have more discipline than Americans. They have more mathematical reasoning and logic than Americans. We're caught up in emotion. And that's why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave us that study guide, Rising Above Emotion. into the thinking of God. God thinks on a mathematical level. And that's what he's preparing us for. That's why the STEM file program is so important, so powerful, because you're getting people, our people in particular, to think mathematically, scientifically, engineering wise. If we thought like engineers, like scientists, like mathematicians, then we would put the mask on, because science says, put the mask on, you save lives. You see, not emotion that says, I want to go to the bar and I got to get my groove on. I got to talk, so I can't have no mask on. And then now you spreading death with your mouth. This is the problem with America.
Right, absolutely. Can you shed a little bit of light on why Black people, just as a community, why it's so hard for us to listen to the scientists or the professionals that we see on TV or even in our own communities? What is the reasoning or the history behind why it is hard for us to do that as a people?
That's a great question.
Man, we have a history where the scientists of the enemy were used to poison us, used to kill us. It wouldn't be hard to ask an indigenous person why we wouldn't trust the white man's scientists or the white man's vaccines or the white man's health solutions, because they came to them with poison blankets. And we have a history of Tuskegee experiment. We have a history of AIDS. We found out that they invented crack to wipe out the black neighborhoods, the black cities. So we have a track record of not trusting their enemy scientists. But because we're so caught up in self-hatred and so in love with our enemy, even with all the mathematical facts, we still trust them more than we trust our own. And that's a major problem. We're coming out of it with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan being all over the planet spreading truth. But we still have that the white man's sugar is sweeter, the white man's ice is colder. So even though we have track records of them for years poisoning us, vaccinating us with death, creating AIDS, making AIDS and making crack cocaine to wipe us out, we still, many of us that are caught up in self-hatred, still look towards the white scientists as opposed to our own. Even you brothers right here with your powerful careers and professions in cardiac, the word was just so powerful. I can't repeat what it was. But my brother, Real, the engineer, you dealing with the cardiac biography and all that kind of stuff, biology and all that.
Yes, sir.
Most of our people, we're not even thinking to honor both of you for that type of discipline. We caught up in loving entertainers, loving sports figures, loving filthy rappers, you see? Whereas in places like Cuba, Finland, Singapore, it's the teachers that everybody looks up to. It's the scientists, you see? It's the engineers. Nobody worried about the entertainers and all that. I mean, you can't build a nation on that. But in America, where Satan is ruling and this is his home and hell rules, these are the people that get put up. These are the people that are so-called stars, so-called celebrities, please. But if you look at Cuba, they make their teachers and their doctors are two of the primary professions that are looked up to and honored in that country. And they have gotten coronavirus under check, and they spread their doctors out to other countries helping them. But in America, because of white supremacy, we won't let the Cuban doctors in to save the American people.
Now notice that the scientists and the medical professionals in Cuba, they got themselves straight first before they sent their scientists and their physicians out to the rest of the world. So talk about securing your community first, just from a mathematical standpoint, securing your community first when it comes to this pandemic, and how important it is to do that before we can help anyone else.
Right. We have to turn inward because we know the government is not going to do anything for us. The wicked rulers are not going to do anything for us. All their plan is to wipe us out. So if we follow the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan and unify, if we're not going to unify over anything else, we should at least unify over the health of our community, the health of our nation, and then take precautions, put things into place to make sure that we are protecting our people, getting them to understand the mask, getting them to understand that they need to social distance, that the partying and all that needs to take a big back seat right now, because the primary goal is to save lives and save the health of our people. So if we come together in unity, all the preachers, all the leaders, all the organizations, we got millions of them. If we were to come together as a collective, then we could lock down our communities, start building clinics, start building our own hospitals, and then we will have what we need to put the coronavirus in check and any other health challenge that we have as a people. But it entails us collectively coming together, and then taking all our scientists, all our health professionals, and getting them on the same mindset too, to one, take care of your own first, and then branch out, as you said, to others.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that. So kind of going into some of those who are, employed when kind of studying a virus, right? You have your virologists, your biologists, all your first responders, nurses, MDs. From a mathematical standpoint, just looking at statistics, if a young mathematician or someone employed by the CDC or just employed to study this virus, what are some tasks that they're doing? What type of models may they be running, or what may they be looking for when studying this virus in terms of its effect or ill effect on the population?
So definitely they're going to be running some numbers, gathering data. A lot of the work of the mathematicians, like actuarial sciences, they deal with collecting data, analyzing data, and then from that making, if they find correlations, then they can make formulas from that. And then that allows people to make predictions based on that data. So there's probably the mathematicians will be used to gather a lot of data and then analyze that data using high level statistics. And a lot of that statistics is way, way, way above my head. But they will be looking for correlations, and so many correlations. Like when insurance companies hire actuarial scientists a lot, mathematicians, because they want to look at variables. You see, what variables are causing accidents? What variables are going to predict that this person is going to get in an accident? Because all they care about is saving money. But those that are truly caring about the health of the masses, then they'll be asking the mathematicians to take the data and analyze, okay, what's going on with the age groups, you see? Because they first said that children couldn't get it or wouldn't get it. And now they have cases, hundreds and thousands of cases of children getting it, children dying from it. So now they have to change the variables, change the mathematics, change the statistics, okay? What particular variables was going on with those children that got them the virus, you see? Then they'll look at all the different data in the hospitals. Who's coming into the hospital? What age? What factors are causing that? So now they say that diabetics are more prone to be to not just get it, but once they get it, to have the more severe symptoms.
Right.
So they're looking at the mathematics, the correlations between variables. The health of the person, the age of the person, demographics, all these are variables that a mathematician will put in, like a system of equations, but not a system of 2 equations. Y'all know this might be a system of 22 equations with 22 variables. So they're using mathematical analysis from the computer now. So you got your computer scientists in with the mathematicians, and they're programming things to analyze data fast, quick, expeditious, and thoroughly, so that they can give that information to the virologists, to the scientists, to the health professionals, and then they can come up with, hey, reports that they give to government officials, reports that they give to the health officials of each city, and then they can hopefully, if they have the right mindset of helping people, then they can help make changes in the people's lives to help protect more people and save more lives.
Praise be to Allah. I love how you broke that down. Family, for those watching, listening, we love your questions. Keep bringing your questions in. This is the STEM Files, the Voice of STEM Talent in Black Culture. Jabrilia Engineer Tariq Cardiac. We are live via the STEM Files on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at the STEM Files. We're at that point halfway through the show where we like to highlight a Black-owned business. So I want to turn it over to Tariq and have us go there.
Absolutely. So when we highlight a Black-owned business, we want to try to stay along the lines of whatever the guest is talking about or the business that the guest has. So, Dr. Shahid, Brother Shahid, can you go into a little bit more about your service with the Math Made Easy?
Yes. So I have a website called themathDoctor.com, themathDr.com. I have DVDs available, instructional DVDs from pre-K all the way up to high school, where students can learn, parents can learn, adults can learn, children can learn mathematics quick, easy, and made simple and plain without all the abstractness that we get in a lot of these colleges and high schools and elementary schools. Also, I started this year online courses. So I have several online courses that are going year long. It's like you'll be in my classroom for a whole school year. And that's the pre-algebra, the algebra 1, geometry, and algebra 2 trig. So all they have to do is go to themathdr.com, fill out a form for the online courses, then I'll get back to you with more information. I also have 2 self-paced, self-directed courses that the parent can get for their children. They can run it anytime, 24/7. It's already pre-recorded video lessons there. And that's a primary K through 3rd and a 4th through high school. All these 2 courses deal with the basic essentials that they need in order to progress in their mathematical pursuits. So thank you so much for putting that up. I look forward to seeing people's responses at the website. Just send me your interest form, and then I'll give you more information on it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Great,
sir.
great.
And just another thing as far as the numbers, I got to shout this out because I'm building up. Our brother is a proud member of the Bundle Club for the Final Call newspaper. So think about the numbers, breaking down the numbers. It's 100 Final Call newspapers a week at the least. You know what I'm saying? So that is one of the things I know brother is proud of. And I know that, a lot of us strive to make sure that we're doing when we're striving to make our communities a safe and decent place to live and deliver the truth to our people, regardless of creed, class, or color. So thank you so much for that. And may Allah continue to bless you on that journey as well.
You all too.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes. So I want to give a special shout out to my big bro's wife, Sister Kiara Muhammad. She gave.
Yeah, you got to before I did.
I'm right there with it. She gave a comment. She was talking about the algorithms and formulas you were talking about, Brother Shahid. Said those algorithms are what we use for data analysis to track this disease. So
right.
in that field, kind of being near that, she confirmed that for us. So thank you so much, Sister Kiara, for that comment.
I'm glad we were close.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, so we're actually coming up on the end of the show. We're about to hit our 45-minute mark. But one of the things we like to do with our guests is called a STEM file speed round. So what we do is we ask you a series of questions to kind of get to know you a little bit more outside of mathematics or outside of the topic of the show.
Yes, sir.
You ready for it?
I guess so. Yes, sir.
All right. So it's just a series of random questions. You can answer all of them. There's not questions that that are too candid, but we definitely want to just get to know you a little bit more. Want our audience to know the kind of man you are outside of mathematics. So, Jabril, you want to start it off?
Yes, sir. Okay. Calculus or geometry?
In terms of teaching?
Yes, but if you prefer, but one you prefer to teach or one that you just you like more as a mathematical discipline?
Geometry, I probably prefer to teach only because I've been doing it for so long that I can probably do it in my sleep.
Right.
And calculus, I haven't had a lot of calculus classes, so I want to make sure that I'm a little stronger in terms of presenting it. But both of them I love in terms of branches of mathematics because they have great applications to real world.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Got it.
3.
All right. So this is a litmus test based on, how this would pretty much determine how I rock with you from now on.
Yes, sir.
Apple or Android?
Oh Lord, I already know I'm gonna fail it.
You know, you might pass. You might pass.
You all engineers and scientists. I know you Apple people.
Oh no. That you could be farther from the truth than that. Jabril's Apple. I'm Android.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Android only because that's what I was raised on. So
excellent. So we good then. We good.
Peace.
All right. If you were stuck on an island for a year, what would be what album? What would be your top 3 albums to have with you if you were stuck on the island for 1 year?
Man, probably
You from that time period where you from the good old days with music, so I know you got something.
Man, it's rough. I probably have to have Michael Jackson Thriller.
Come on now.
Okay.
Probably Earth, Wind, and Fire Greatest Hits.
Okay.
And then you got to give me 4 because I can't battle Public Enemy and BDP. KRS-One Greatest Hits and Public Enemy Greatest Hits.
Nice. You're gonna be good for that year, bro. You're gonna be good for that.
I'll be good to go.
All right, cool. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Man, probably bean soup.
Bean soup. Okay.
Simple but
Gotcha.
good. Like a good bowl of bean soup.
Yeah, I can have that for a whole week. You know, that's just the bean soup.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Jabril, you got one?
I got one. Okay. Single-breasted or double-breasted soup?
Definitely double-breasted.
Yeah. I don't
really triple.
I gotta level up. Because that double-breasted hit different. That double-breasted is different.
Yeah, well, I'm thin. Double-breasted.
Okay. All right. So what's the worst job you've ever had?
Well, it probably had to be something like we weren't doing summer school. I was just doing it to make money for college. Man, that's a rough question. I mean, I've been teaching. All I know is teaching. And I can't say that's the worst job. Man, that's rough. I had to go way back before I graduated college. I guess I was a dishwasher one time. That wasn't the greatest thing. Yeah, I guess it would be dishwashing.
Okay, yes, sir.
I feel you on that.
That was one of the summer jobs. What you said?
You and the minister have that in common.
Oh, yes, sir. I had a machine though, so I had to do it by hand. It just wasn't the right environment.
Got you. All right. Let me see. Walking or jogging?
Walking.
Okay. All right. Jabril, you got one?
Really, bicycling.
Bicycling?
I love bicycling.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what's up.
My father-in-law is a big bicycler as well. You know,
go ahead.
On that bike when he when I go down there to Atlanta to visit.
Yeah, I need a bike.
Yes, sir. Sci-fi or horror films?
Sci-fi, man.
Like the best.
With a capital S.
Yes, sir.
What happened to scary movies? Like, why is everybody so interested in the sci-fi? I mean, I love sci-fi, but not over horror. Like, you still gotta have that.
You can't tell me.
Yeah, but Tariq, you probably talking about old school, real horror when they put work into the plot.
Right.
Like Freddy Krueger and Friday the 13th. Like those are still classics. Like, why everybody going sci-fi?
Because sci-fi has Star Wars.
Right.
That's why.
But when it comes to our people, they not into sci-fi.
Right. We ain't in the horrors either. We died at the beginning.
Right. We try to do relationship movies. That's all we care about.
Right. Okay. Let me see.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Now, hopefully you say Star Wars. Star Trek is boring.
I can't put them above each other. It's both. They tied.
Okay.
I'm a straight up Trekkie, and I'm a Star Warsy.
Oh God, Star Trek is boring though. Like I could never get into that.
You got to go to the original ones.
The original Star Trek.
Yeah, the original.
Are you talking about the one with what's his name?
Spock.
No, what's the dude that played the captain? What's his name? What that actor's name?
William Shatner.
Yeah, you talking about that one?
Yeah, the original one. The remakes, I mean the makeovers after that, they're not worth it. But you gotta
Now
have Spock, you gotta have a horror, you gotta have McCoy.
you still want me to go to sleep, bro. You still want me to go to sleep on
Help
that.
him out with the sci Star Trek now.
So
All right.
go ahead. You got one?
No, go ahead.
Okay. You like comics?
Nah,
All right.
not
Okay. All right. So if you don't like comics, that's fine then. Favorite hobby?
hobby. Oh Lord. I don't even get to have a hobby.
Right.
Come on, man. We can't be that typical scientist, man. Just be working on the stuff and don't do nothing.
Sci-fi, riding the bike, and my wife and I were trying to get land because I really want to get some horses. I love horses. Yeah, I really love horses.
Mr. Kiera got an interesting question.
Oh yeah, what she put up?
What's your favorite equation?
Oh yeah, what's that?
What's
Favorite
equation?
You have a favorite equation?
Man,
might as well.
Shoot. Whatever I say, I guess profit equals income minus expenses.
I like it. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a businessman, so I need that profit to come in.
Yes, sir.
Got you. We're the same way. Jabril, what's your favorite equation? Like, do you have one?
That one.
Yeah, you two are businessmen, so I know that's your favorite equation.
That's my favorite equation. True.
Maximize profit, minimize expenses.
Right.
Right.
I would say it's a simple equation, though. In all honesty, I like the equation for work. It's very simple. Well, force times distance, because it's a constant reminder of whenever you think that you're really doing something, but it doesn't add up in that equation, you're humbled. So that equation for work really hits home for me, and this one is definitely one of my favorites.
Go ahead. I like that.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I like energy equals mass times the speed of light. I know it's kind of, cliche equals MC squared. I just like I like being able to determine that equation, like putting in all the inputs and then getting everything that we get out of that. I just like that. I just like the way it's set up. I can't explain it. I just like the way that flows.
You ain't got to explain it. You all are role models, black scientists and black engineers. Shoot, you don't have to explain nothing. Just think aloud for both of you.
Yes, sir. Same to you.
Think a lot for you too, as YouTube beloved. All right, so we got 2 more questions. If you could meet any scientist from the past, who would it be and why?
Good Lord. I'm thinking mathematicians. Maybe Imhotep.
Imhotep. Okay.
Man, when I found out he was a pyramid builder, doctor, mathematician, and I think an engineer.
Yeah.
That brother was deep.
Yes,
he had every nation building skill that we could think of. Every single one.
And we cried today just to be one of those professionals.
Right. We struggling.
Rolling the planet with 4 of them, man. And then on the side, building pyramids. So I would love to just give him some a hug, be like, what up, my brother? You one of my role models.
Right.
Yes,
just
sir.
Have a 5-minute conversation with him.
Yes. And then someone else, maybe, man, just one of the scientists on the mother wheels. I would love to just be able to meet him and have him give me a tour on the mother wheel.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a conversation that is versus a listening session.
Right.
Like talking to the minister, you don't really have a conversation with the minister. Like you come
right, just talk,
and then you come to be taught and you take notes. That's what you do.
or any of the mathematicians that were there prior to the enemy that knows the other 59,999 books of math.
Yes, sir. I like that. Yes, sir.
That would be something else.
Like you
said, it wouldn't be a conversation. I would just be a student with notes.
Excellent. So if you weren't a mathematician, what would you be?
I don't really consider myself a mathematician. I think I'm just a God blessed me to be able to teach math in a way that people understand it. My former role model, Dr. Abdul Aleem Shabazz, now that's a mathematician. The minister said he's a monster in mathematics. So I don't consider myself on his level nowhere, can't tie his shoes. But I don't know. I probably would. I was interested in aerospace engineering because once I found out somebody lied and said that I couldn't go into space unless I went into the Air Force. That's what directed me out of trying to be an astronaut.
Wow.
And then so then I wanted to be, at least if I couldn't go up, I wanted to help people get up there. So I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer, but that's when the physics punked me because I had this Asian teacher and I was totally lost. And instead of me just getting another professor, I punked out and then settled for, I won't say settle for less, but like I said, I think God kind of was steering me anyway to what he wanted me to be. So I don't think I had a choice, only because of the response that I get from students all over the planet. Even those that watch the videos, watch the DVDs, or in my classroom personally. I mean, I never had a math teacher like you. I wish you was my math teacher years ago. Greatest math teacher I ever had. So I know that's not me, that's God. So I know he was directing me in the path. So I don't think I had a choice.
Absolutely.
Teacher.
Totally understand that. Jabril, you want to ask the last question?
Yes, sir. Last question. So my name is Brother Shahid Muhammad, and I
am the math doctor. And I am the math doctor because we have a lot of patients sick in mathematics with mathitis, algebraitis, cancer of the arithmetics. So I am a math doctor because I'm trying to be like a doctor, heal our people first in terms of mathematical literacy, and then all those after that, our Hispanic family, our indigenous family, to help us raise our level of math literacy and competency.
Yes, sir. I like how you're using the word doctor to incorporate the healing aspect into teaching children mathematics. That's extremely profound and marketable. So we definitely appreciate everything you've done. What has it been, 30 years, 35 years since you've been teaching math?
Since 1989, I started at MUI. Oh, and brothers, you all might like this. You know, we got a lot of perpetrating math doctors out there on the internet. So I'm driving and I'm looking at this person's license plate right in front of me, and it said the math doctor.
Wow.
And then I pulled up, this is years later. This is recently. I pulled up in the grocery store that I go to, and then on a car parked, it was a math doctor. So I'm like, look at all these perpetrating math doctors out here. Lord have mercy. I just thought that was interesting.
Oh yeah, it is interesting. I think Kiara said not cancer of the arithmetic.
I like that.
I like that. All right, family. Well, this is the conclusion of the show. Once again, thank you, Brother Shahid, for joining us tonight. We definitely plan to have you back on. Next week's guest on the STEM Files Thursday, October 22nd, I believe. October 22nd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have young man, Mazan Muhammad. He's the inventor of the Safe Touch Pro.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be joining us next Thursday, October 22nd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. He's going to be talking about his journey with the Safe Touch Pro, how he started that, and the power of being a young Black inventor. So definitely check us out next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Jabril?
Send me that link. I want to see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I was just thinking, Tariq, we should have an extra credit assignment for our students for invention and innovation to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
I was thinking about. But family, thank you so much, Brother Shahid, for coming on with us.
Thank you all, man.
Always a pleasure to have another Philly native, on the show and everything.
Yes,
and you have a special place in my heart.
And
I was homeschooled, growing up. So your voice and everything was always in my ears. My mother used a lot of your stuff. So all praise due to Allah.
Praise God.
Same here, bro. Same here. You helped me understand quadratic equations, so you're gonna forever be brother who's dear.
And now both of y'all can teach me some engineering and some science.
Yeah, so
Praise
we can make it happen. Yes.
Much love, man. Love y'all, man. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. So,
Sir,
family,
you too.
another edition of the STEM Files, your brilliant engineer, Tariq Cardiac, the math doctor. We are here live on Facebook at the STEM Files, YouTube, the STEM Files. Follow us on Instagram at the STEM Files every Thursday and Saturday at 6 p.m. The voice of STEM talent and Black culture. Until next time, peace and blessings. Love y'all.
Hold on. One more thing. Brother Shahid, how can people get in contact with you?
Right.
themathdr.com. themathdr.com, and my email is down on the bottom of the screen. So either email me or go to my website, themathdr.com. Thank you all so much, my brothers.
Yes, sir.
Give your family my love and greetings.
Will do.
All right. Will do.
Alaikum
salam.